Is it your plan to deport everyone who is here illegally over the next 4 years?
Well, I think you have to do it, and it's a very tough thing to do. You know, you have rules, regulations, laws. They came in illegally. You know, the people that have been treated very unfairly are the people that have been online for 10 years to come into the country. And we're going to make it very easy for people to come in terms of they have to pass the test. They have to be able to tell you what the Statue of Liberty is. They have to tell you a little bit about our country. They have to love our country.
Well. That's him. Trump on deporting all immigrants. What is your stand? We've got what? We've had 2 years of warning, and here we are. What is your stand? It is arguably one of the most complex issues of our day. And I say complex because once upon a time it was simple. You check in with your current status, you go through the procedure, either you get in or you don't, or you have to wait, you prove your citizenship, there's a processing time. That was simple. That was simple. And then here come old slow Joe. Here come fall off the bike Joe. Here come ice cream Joe. Here come gnawing on the ankles of the babies on Thanksgiving Joe. You know, Joe Biden, there he is. And now it's become more complicated. Because anytime you break the rules, anytime you break the law, anytime you break the order, that's what you get. And when you think about just this issue alone, we've been handed a situation whereby this is affecting at least 75% of our country. And it didn't have to be if you left everything in place. And that's why I've been telling people, look, God established everything with Adam. He said, Adam, I made you, tend the soil, sweat of your brow, but I gave you dominion. And Adam, I want you to subdue the earth. Subdue means manage it. And I can just imagine the conversation back and forth between Adam and God so that there be clarity. No misunderstanding as to how I want this earth, which I've gifted you with. Imagine that, being gifted with this thing. You know, I wonder if God actually took Adam around the whole globe and he saw Alaska, Germany, Switzerland, the Middle East, the Congo, France, Italy. You know, your mind kind of goes there so that there would be no misunderstanding about what he gifted. Imagine that, being the first human being. Now I want you to subdue it. Now naturally, you have to, I don't even think there's an argument. You have to understand that Adam only knew one way of doing things. That is having the governance state of mind of God. Because he was made in his image. God blessed him also, that is, gifted him with a helpmate. But his reasoning had to be that of God. So the order and the laws, the foundation was set in relation to what God's heavenly law and order is. But, you know, through the eons of time, here we are, people. And what better way to break down a civilization than to go after those two first things? Laws and order. Law and order. So here we are, during this Trump moment. There's a new sheriff in town. And it's more complicated. Got people, you know, causing havoc in the street, demonstrating in the highway, clowning. The question of, is this really your land versus our land? I mean, when all we had to do was just leave it alone. As they say, leave well enough alone. So what is your stand? I can understand the argument of saying, well, you know what? LA was really the Indians' land. But hey, Indians haven't gotten too bad of a deal because they've been getting checks for a while, right? I've done videos on that. Black folks ain't got no checks in relation to what we went through. But I'm gonna pause for the cause. Ain't trying to have no argument. I'm just saying, Obama gave Indians a lot of checks. Just about, I believe, every year, every first of the year in the White House. And I believe it still continues. And they've been given land and a settlement. Put that in quotes. But it still doesn't mend and heal the wounds of what happened to the Indians. So arguably, I guess they could say, you know what? We want Los Angeles. And personally, I wouldn't argue with that. Personally, if the Indians got Los Angeles back, I would not argue with it. But we got 50 states. And border control, think about how much money has been spent over the last 4 years in bringing them over. You guys remember I did stories last year on my last channel. Well, Biden was bringing them over by plane at night. Going to Dallas, Texas, going to Florida. Then they sending them back to places like New York and Chicago. And it's just been one bouncing ball after another. That's what makes it so complicated. And then when you throw the babies and the mothers involved, it's like, now you have the anchor babies. Are they true citizens? Right? Some people believe that once you're born here, you're a citizen. Well, you have others believe, well, you know what? So what? The mother and father came over illegally. They deliberately had the babies so they could be citizens. Now you don't want to separate the baby from the mother. You see how the complexity came? If you would just maintain what God said, subdue the earth. But see, Satan think he's slick. It's another divide and conquer move. And it's a money thing. Health care. You got to give them a place to stay, something to eat. Now they buying cars. They ain't paying no taxes. And people like me soon will be on a more fixed incomes because of Social Security and Medicare. And then you got to pay taxes on your then you got to pay taxes on your Social Security. Imagine working 50 years and you finally get your money every month, right? And now you got to pay taxes on your Social Security. And these people come over, ain't paying no tax. Oh, this is the punishment that you get for not doing it God's way. So let's play this thing again.
Your plan to deport everyone who is here illegally over the next 4 years.
Well, I think you have to do it. And it's a very tough thing to do. You know, you have rules, regulations, laws. They came in illegally. You know, the people that have been treated very unfairly are the people that have been online for 10 years to come into the country.
Boom. Because I worked in the building for over 13 years, I know an immigration lawyer, her and her husband. And yeah, it's a slap in the face for those who were in line. Oh God, Joe Biden, we love you, right? Now check this out. Pam Bondi. What a last name, Bondi, right? Bond. The new AG being sworn in. Check it out.
I do solemnly swear
I, Pamela Bondi, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter.
discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
And she gonna need God. Because what I mentioned earlier, the Indians saying, look, Los Angeles is ours, it could get that deep. And now the federal government would have to step in and actually relocate people. And that's gonna be more money. More money, more money, more money. Will it end? Or can they make a settlement or just give the Indians some more money? I don't know. But this immigration, baby, it's off the chain. And this thing, I was sitting up last night. I got up in the middle of the night thinking about this thing. I said, this thing has no end. Somebody made a comment the other day in that if ICE can come in and break down your door without a warrant, will this immigration tool be utilized as a way to, quote unquote, violate our rights as well? Now, I read the comment and I'm like, whoa, could it come down to that? Does ICE have that? You would think that our Constitution would prevent that. But hey, do you have to have your documents on you 24/7? Let's see Pam Bondi in action. This is less than, I think, 10 or 12 hours after she was sworn in. Check it out.
With you've cracked down on sanctuary cities. The DOJ has put a pause on all federal funding to sanctuary cities and states. You filed a lawsuit against Chicago and the state of Illinois for being a sanctuary city. Am I wrong in my interpretation that a sanctuary city is aiding and abetting in lawbreaking?
Sean, what they're doing is they are choosing illegal aliens over the safety and security of their own citizens and the men and women of law enforcement who are out there trying to protect their citizens. Not only did we sue today the city of Chicago, we sued the state of Illinois, we sued the mayor, we sued the governor, and we sued others. And let me be very clear, if you don't comply with federal law, you're going to be next.
What about those that we now know apparently tipped off the Tren de Aragua gang in Colorado prior to an ICE raid? Obviously, that would be breaking the law. Will we get to the bottom of that?
Yeah, Sean, absolutely. And, you know, that risk the lives of our great men and women in law enforcement.
I told you people, it done got complicated. Aiding and abetting of one's country. I learned that, I believe, my last year of high school. And I was like, wow, you know. So, people, my mind is blown. This one issue is shredding our country. The time on law enforcement and gutting and weeding it out. And I'm going to show you a video where allegedly it looks like gangs were tipped off and they got out of the housing area before ICE showed up. And I live in Chicago, people. I have a governor and mayor who wants to stand toe-to-toe against Trump and now Pam Bondi. And I'm wondering, are they going to wind up in jail? What she say, you next with a lawsuit? People, you can't break the law. Again, I gotta just keep hammering in. I want to know how you feel. I know we're dealing with human beings, but they came over illegally, but they were led over by our president, Pearson. I get it, he broke the law. And the buck should have stopped there. The enforcement of everything should have started with Congress, and the purse should have been closed, and Joe Biden's hands would have been tied. But that's neither here nor there. We're here now. And aiding and abetting, if the Attorney General of the President of the United States says, look, we have criminals in our domain, and we come to flush them out, The mayor and the governor, they got to get out the way. I'm to the point as an American, I don't know how you feel. I wish we had all sheriffs because they seem to be the one that really understand how to get it done, right? Put in the comment section. When I watch videos on the sheriffs, it's no nonsense. They're like, look, this is what I'm in charge of. This is what I swear. This is what I'm sworn to do, and I'm gonna do it. So maybe she need to bring in some sheriffs with Tom Holman. Now, here's a gentleman here from the DEA. Listen to him, how he's approaching this thing.
Well, for one, it all starts at the top. So leadership has been real clear that the law enforcement in this country is going to protect the citizens, and we're going to use all the tools, all the authorities, and all the great American patriots, men and women are out there every day on the streets. All the agencies are united. This is the first time I've seen this level of cooperation between the DOJ component agencies, the DHS, Homeland Security, the new border czar. Everyone's working together. We're on the streets together. But unfortunately, Carly, we have compromises like we had in Aurora, Colorado. We're trying to remove the most violent criminals in America off the streets, and we have media folks leaking it to those traffickers, to those criminals. Very, very sad.
It is very sad. There were supposed to be 100 Tren de Aragua members arrested in Colorado. Only one was. But when Bill Malugin went into the apartments, because he did a ride along, he said that there were blood inside the apartment complexes, which is really all.
And I'm going to show you the video. So allegedly, the gangs were alerted by the media. I'm still scratching my head on that one. If you heard that, let me know. If you live in Colorado, what did you see? I mean, that's mind-blowing. I told you guys about a week ago. The real sophisticated ones, they have intel and they have a way of hiding better than the average illegal. Understand what I'm saying? I'm just using my rationale. If you're just on the up and up and you came here illegal, we know where you're at. You're in a place where you have a sanctuary place. Like few blocks from my house, there is a church with over 1,500 illegals there. We know you're there. But the ones that really want to stay and avoid or on something nefarious, they're going to be hard to catch. Now watch this here. Here's Tom Holman addressing the issue about the means of attack, means of how he's going to get it done.
We're out of there. So tell us exactly how many of these arrests actually involve people with criminal records other than illegal entry?
Look, I'm looking at the numbers this morning. We're about 14,000 arrests, and about 76% of them are criminals. That's the target of the operation, right? But where the collateral arrests happen when we're looking for the bad guy, and we find others with them. And we have told ICE officers they're going to enforce the law. Unlike the last administration, we're not telling ICE agents, ignore the oath you took, ignore the immigration law. Your immigration officers enforce those laws. And here's a problem. I would love to arrest a bad guy in a city or county jail, but in sanctuary cities we don't have access. So they're going to release a public safety threat back into the community, which I think is foolish. Puts the community at risk, puts our officers at risk, and puts the alien at risk, because anything can happen on a street arrest. So if sanctuary cities want to force me in the communities, find a bad guy, that's what we'll do. And when we find a bad guy, many times we're with others. If they're in the country illegally, they're coming too.
Let me ask you about the number.
So in this segment, I watched this video. It's an 18-minute video. The question was asked, private citizen businesses or corporations, whatever. Then they went to like car washes. If there are illegals in car washes, and they believe there are illegals there who are on their list as hardened criminals, they're coming to your car wash. They're coming to your business. They're coming to your factories. This is what's going on, people. Look. If this has happened at your business, put in the comment section. If you've seen it in your neighborhood, let me know. When you have a 70% rate of success, in terms of who you're looking for, that's not bad. But every now and then, that 30%, what's the song from 30 years ago? Slip sliding away. Slip sliding away. Right? So here we go. They slipped away. Check it out.
Parade.
God bless y'all. Let's take these bad guys off the street. Send the Gitmo. Come home safe, every one of you.
Border Czar Tom Homan rallying the troops ahead of a massive federal operation in Aurora, Colorado Wednesday morning. Several hundred federal agents from ICE, HSI, DEA, FBI, ATF, and CBP. What's the goal today?
The goal today is send a message to TDA that we're going to eradicate them from this country.
The plan was to deport more than 100 of these gang members, but a little problem. These thugs were apparently tipped off by media reports.
As the team went door to door, they found blood-stained walls, but no gang members. The entire complex was virtually empty. A stop at another apartment complex netted no arrests.
It seems like they were tipped off. They knew this was coming.
So yeah, I do get the impression that there were some intel leaks here, and I think that probably they did know we were coming, but we're still coming. It's not going to stop us.
Well, as a result, only 30 of these illegal gang members were arrested, only one of which was confirmed, actually confirmed as a Tren de Aragua gang member. And it appears that some of the Open Borders activists were actually there on the scene. They're not going to thank ICE agents for making the city safer.
People, I want you to understand something. With every month, as this goes down, we've got to look at the evolution of things. There just might be a point where media will be arrested. I'm just keeping it real. This is why last night I got up thinking about it. I was like, Pearson, I say, look, I try to do my research ahead of time. Sometimes it's spontaneous. But I thought about, I'm like, look, you're allegedly tipping off these people, the media. I'm going to say allegedly. Look, the media has freedom of speech. If this is true, could this situation be utilized in the future by the Attorney General, Congress, the President, whatever, say, you know what? We're not going to tell you guys nothing. At the press conference, nothing. And if you're around us when we're going to these places, we're not going to give you an alert hours in advance. People, it could come to that. It could come to the point where they could say, look, you alphabet stations or you private news, whatever, social media, if we catch you guys online even talking about this, why a raid is going down in a particular area of a city, whatever, that's automatic jail time. People, I want you to understand the evolution of this. Like I said, I thought about it last night. How do you feel? Because look, a gang member could easily grab a civilian as hostage or whatever, as leverage. Say, look, you're going to let 10 of my boys right up out of here, and I've got this person as a hostage. It could put us in bad situations. So again, I don't know if it's true. I don't believe everything I hear. But if this is true, we're talking about an evolution of something that we're not thinking about on a daily basis, where someone could tip off these gang members or just regular people who they're coming after, and they get no results, but it could turn violent. Tell me how you feel. Because we're in uncharted territory. It's not going to be as simple as, oh, you know what? Trump's in office now. Let's get it done. Nope. We're learning as we go. My name is Franchise Pierce. If you like the work, please subscribe. If you want to help out the channel, just go to my site. I believe I have. Go to Franchise Blue, click on my portrait, and click on more. I have Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, Cash App, I also have a P.O. box if you want to send a love offering. I also have a beautiful book called Protect the Gift. Amazon Books, a beautiful poetry book, Protect the Gift, Amazon Books. You can buy one for you and your family. God bless you. Be safe. We'll talk soon.